What is going on, guys? It is General Storm here, and today I will be talking about the Bloblobber, a weapon that everyone just thinks is overpowered. And I'm going to share my opinions on it, and let's just jump right in. Right now, I think the Bloblobber is not overpowered as almost everyone else thinks. And just let me explain a little bit what the Bloblobber is before I get into the big details about like why it's not overpowered and why everyone else thinks it is. So the Bloblobber is it is the newest slosher in Splatoon 2. It sloshes 4 projectiles that each do 30 damage. So you slosh and you only hit you only hit someone with one blob, then you've done 30 damage to that thing. I'm not sure about I believe there's a multiplier with the Rainmaker, but with players it's 30 damage. You have the ability to bounce the blobs, because that's what they are. You have the ability to bounce the blobs off walls and other solid surfaces, and for the sub and special it has splash wall and ink storm. Now, a little bit fun fact type thing is it can slosh 14 times, which means every slosh takes up 7.14% of the ink tank. And after throwing a splash wall with no ink saver sub or ink saver main, you can slosh 5 times before running out of ink. Now, I do recommend ink saver sub if you plan on using the splash wall frequently and turn a corner, throw a splash wall. You might want to use ink saver sub. And another fun fact is you only need 2 subs of ink saver main to add an extra slosh to the ink tank, I guess. Now, I have a friend, Reptra, he's my teammate for Depth for Squids. He plays Bloblobber pretty often now. So he gave me some pros and cons, and I'm just gonna show you why it's balanced. So, for the pros, we're gonna start off with the good things because that's what everyone's talking about. The first one is it's one of the best zoning weapons in the game because you basically can slosh, and depending on how you slosh, you're basically displacing everyone. And it has extremely long range and lasting projectiles. The projectiles, this is the second one, the projectiles last 2 seconds long, so that's pretty long for Splatoon, because every second is you think it's longer, or you think it's quicker, but it's longer than you expected. So the projectiles last 2 seconds, so rapid fired shots can lock down tight corridors like maybe a closed or an alleyway, you know. And the third and final pro is the interesting projectile physics cause players to be out of position, so then either teammates can follow up and kill the enemy players, or they might die to all 4 projectiles. Now, moving on to the cons, is basically this is one of the ways you can counter Bloblobber, which you might as well just run an inkjet, because the first thing is it struggles tremendously with finding inkjets. You have to be literally in the exhaust to be able to kill an inkjet. And another one is it struggles with fighting targets on rapidly elevated, changing elevations, like humpback pump track the middle. You don't really want to play Bloblobber on humpback pump track unless you know exactly what you're doing. And the final one is it struggles with fighting enemies on grates, because the blobs cannot reach their full range from bouncing, because that's how they work. That's where they get their range, from bouncing. So since a lot of people are using Bloblobber and people are always complaining it's too overpowered, why is everyone using it? Why don't you use something that can counter it, like an M-parry or something like that? Because in my opinion, rolling is a good way to dodge the blobs, and use inkjet, because like Raptura said, inkjets are extremely. You have to be directly under. Like, you may be able to get like 1 or 2 kills with the Bloblobber from like onto an inkjet from like behind without them seeing you, but like if they're fighting you, like firing at you, you're basically dead, and you either want to jump out or back up, because you can't do. There's no way you can do anything for that. So now on to like what people kind of think and what I think type thing. So what people think, which is like why they think it's overpowered, is they think the range is too long for a slosher. And they also think that the fire rate, along with the damage, which is 30, like I said at the beginning of the video, allows it to be spammed for easy kills. And they want the damage to be nerfed to 20 damage per hit, which would make it a 5-hit kill, which that doesn't make sense. But they don't like that it shoots over walls, which also doesn't make sense. So, like, they're basically saying that it broke Splatoon 2 because it's able to shoot over walls, kill easily in the rain. No, I don't think it broke Splatoon 2 in any way, because like I think it's perfectly fine. It's a good weapon. I don't think it's overpowered, but I don't think it's bad. So I think it's perfectly fine where it is. No buffs, no nerfs. It's a good weapon. And the reason is because the Bloblobber does not have the most range. It may have a tiny bit more range than the X-Blosher, but I still believe the X-Blosher has more range than the Bloblobber. So it is not the longest ranging slosher, in my opinion. And it has, if not the same fire rate as the original slosher, because I believe that Tri-Slosher has the fastest fire rate, then the slosher, and then either the slosher machine or the Bloblobber, however you want it, however you think it is. But what really gets me is the last two that I mentioned, the damage and the walls. If you want to decrease the damage to 20 damage per hit, that doesn't make any sense. That means by the time you hit 4 hits, because you're not always gonna hit, like, get one slosh onto them all the time. Like, there's no way that 100% you're gonna have accuracy, like 100% accuracy onto them with one slosh. So it's just like, oh hey, there's a man over here, slosh, he happened to be moving, but I still got him with all 4. That's not possible. Not even if you try to like spray it around, it's still not possible. So nerfing it to a 5-hit to kill weapon just makes it almost unplayable. And the whole thing about it can shoot over walls and people don't like that doesn't make sense. It's a slosher. If it couldn't shoot over walls, it'd basically be a charger that can't charge. Like, literally, it's almost like whatever, the Grizzco charger. That's what it would be like. It'd just be like, you tap the button and you fire a charge. Like, would you want that? Or would you want a Bloblobber that it can shoot over walls, but, like, I don't understand. If you want a weapon that doesn't need to be charged and is a sniper, we're basically gonna turn into Call of Duty, where you just like walk around, you do 360 no scope, and you don't even have to charge up. Like, you just see someone, you just do 180 and you kill them, one hit in like half a second almost. So it doesn't make sense to not make the the Bloblobber shoot over walls, because number one, it's a slosher. It may not be a slosher like a Tri-Slosher or the normal slosher. It's not even it's a unique slosher. That's what it is. It's a unique slosher, like the slosher machine and the X-Blosher. Those are unique sloshers. Technically, they're all unique sloshers because they have their own. They have their own extra ability type thing. So it doesn't make sense for Nintendo to nerf it to where it does a 5 damage, like it does a 5-hit kill, and then it shoots straight. That doesn't make sense. The fire rate is perfectly fine. It's just the weapon is perfectly fine. There's no nerfs that are needed to be made. The problem right now is like how it is with 90% of new weapons. Nobody knows how to go against it. Someone on the enemy team is using it, they don't know how to go against it. It's kind of hard if you think about it. Like, you go in first match, you ever play against a Bloblobber, you're like, okay, so I'm not using it, I don't know how to use this weapon, I don't know what it does, I've never even seen gameplay of it. You get killed by it. 90% of the time, those people who play it for the play against it for the first time are not gonna know how to go against it. Like, you basically want to kill the entire enemy team besides that Bloblobber if you want to win. So that's the problem right now. It's not overpowered. It's just people don't know how to go up against it. And so I'm gonna give a little tips and kind of tricks. So one of them is that you don't want to just stand there and watch the Bloblobber. Like, if you're standing still, you're gonna get killed by one slosh. I don't understand people who are like, they were charged, they were just staying still, and then they get killed on one slosh, and they're like, it's too overpowered. How did they kill? How did they kill you? You were standing still. You're an easy target. And like, so you want to use the walls that they can ricochet their bullets off as your advantage. Use them as protection, as covering, so then whenever they're trying to slosh at you, it bounces off the wall and goes the other direction. Try to right side peek or left side peek while doing so. Don't just stand there. Go sneak around somewhere. Like, go around in the enemy's base. Come from behind. There's no weapon that can just easily kill someone from behind them. So, like, that's always the best strategy whenever you're trying to kill a new weapon, I guess. I've also used it. That's also another way you can get good with, or get good against it, is by using the weapon. That's how, every time a new weapon comes out, I just use it to see how it works, what are my fears with the weapon, and then I'm like, okay, so this is what I have to do to beat it. So try it out. You're thinking to yourself, well, I'm not going to join it because it's kind of like a bandwagon thing. Well, you can't beat it if you don't know how to use it. Well, I mean, you can, but it's going to be a lot harder. That's why I like to use almost every weapon in the game, so that I know how to beat it. Anyway, I'm done. Hope you enjoyed. If you have, like the video. Share the video with other people, so then everyone knows that it's actually not overpowered as they think it is. And that people can start learning how to deal with it. Subscribe if you want to see more, and comment anything that you want to comment about the Bloblobber. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye!